Hello, all you fishermen out there and conservationists out there. Right now I'm going to start every single week with a blog, and this blog is going to cover a lot of different things. It's going to cover a lot of things in regards to our fishery on the west coast and our fishery in the Straits of Juan de Fuca and our fishery in Georgia Strait. All of this means so much to so many people. There are guides and there are little lodges around us that have built their business and they've built their life and they put their life savings and their blood, sweat, and tears in building these businesses. And what happens? Not because of science, but because of politics. They have changed the rules. And the rules is you can go out there and fish, only in certain areas. Other areas are going to be closed. But you must release everything, even hatchery fish, which is absolutely crazy. And because of that, these lodge owners and these businesses and these guides who spent all winter booking and telling people you can come and you can catch salmon, and they've taken their deposits, they're phoning them back and saying, I'm sorry, but these are the new rules. You know what's happening? They're losing their clients. And then you know what happens? They lose their business. And then what happens is either they're going to sue the butt off of fisheries and oceans and the government of Canada, or just declare bankruptcy and start all over again. Now, here's our problem. Our problem is the Fraser River. The problem is the runs are really in danger on the Fraser River. Now, these are all wild salmon, and wild salmon is the most important thing to the livelihood of us as well as to the future of our salmon. It is not necessarily hatcheries. Hatcheries have to be used now to augment it and to try and save our businesses. But it's not the most important criteria. The most important thing is our wild salmon. And wild salmon need one thing and one thing only to survive, and that's habitat. And they have to be able, when they get in that river, to be able to spawn, and for those smolts to come out of that river and start growing and start migrating and coming back 3, 4, 2, 5 years later to the river. And they have to be able to propagate that again. And you get biodiversity in the river. Chinook salmon, the males fight like you wouldn't believe. A 2-year-old comes into a 3-year-old female, saddles beside her. A 3-year-old male will kick her out. A 4-year-old will kick that 3-year-old out. The biggest salmon are the ones that win in the river. When there are no big salmon, then you just get small salmon. And we have to make sure that our rivers are protected. They have to be protected also from pollution. I mean, I can just imagine what is coming down that Fraser River. You know, you wouldn't want to be taking a glass of water and drinking it every day. You'd die, or you'd be very, very sick. So that's the start of my blog. And we're going to carry on later, and we're going to talk more. We'll try talking to our native people on the Fraser River, see what they think. We're going to talk about fish hatcheries. We want to talk about DFO. We want to talk about habitat. We want to talk about predation by seals. We want to talk about climate change. We want to talk about our killer whales. We want to talk about the skewed science that has brought us to this point. And a lot of the skewed science is by people who know absolutely nothing about what's happening out there. We do. And we are a voice. So look out, DFO. We're coming to get you. Not the local guys here. They're great guys. We're talking about the politics of how in the hell some minister in Vancouver who owned a lodge and used to fish, how he could come up with the arrangement that he came up with. And how a past minister like David Anderson, who loves to fish, but he loves to fish rivers. He's a fly fisherman. I knew him years ago. And how he can come out and say, the only way we can save these fish is to close down the fisheries. That is bull. And we are going to start explaining it to you over the weeks ahead, and we're going to put it out on social media, and we're going to make sure that everyone sees it. And we're going to get discussions on this, and we're going to get it right. We've already lost one tackle shop, and I know of some lodges. I don't know how they're going to make it. And I have personal friends who have been guides all their life and have bookings and everything else. I don't know how they're going to make it. So let's join the fight. We have to be organized, and we're going to start working with, for example, the Sport Fishing Institute of BC. We're going to try and work with Pacific Salmon Foundation. We are going to try and get this thing together on social media. That's my blog for this week. This is Gary Cooper saying, good luck, good fishing, and I guess we have to say conserve your catch.